Okay, so in the last video, we saw what effective communication was and the significance of the communication cycle. Now, please do keep one thing in mind, and this is something that I tell all my students, and I've been telling them for a long period of time. And it is that about 2 decades back, a book was published on vocabulary, on how to improve your communication by increasing your word power. And in the preface of that book, the writer wrote, the first line of the preface said, "My boss is a better communicator than I am. That is a good enough reason for him to be my boss." So please do keep one thing in mind that if you are in an engineering firm, if you are in a medical establishment, you know your work, you know your profession. Everyone is an expert. That's why they are there. So, what's going to decide who gets the top slot, who gets the better position? That will be your ability to communicate better, your ability to manage people better, your ability to coordinate by sending the messages you want to send across more effectively. So, that is why we are studying communication as a subject here in business management or business. All right, so let's now look at the impact. In other words, we are now analyzing. Now, analysis is a very important part of your writing. That the answers that you are framing. Now, that's a very important part. Analysis. So, what is analysis essentially? Analysis simply means the impact that something is going to have. Okay, in business, that is what it means. In sciences, of course, it means something. In the physical sciences, it means something else. Analysis means breaking up something and then looking at its parts. For getting more information. When you say electrolysis, what does it mean? Breaking water using electricity. Electrolysis. Lysis means breaking. So in business, yeah, you break up the argument, but ultimately, when you break up the argument, the purpose is to analyze the impact that a certain thing will have. So when you're talking about effective communication, you want to know what the impact of effective communication is going to be. Okay, if you're talking about leadership, good leadership, informal leadership, or formal leadership for that matter, you are interested in the impact of that particular factor. So your answer is incomplete if you do not write about the impact of that particular factor. And impact on what? Ask yourself, as a businessman, what are you concerned with? Everything should impact ultimately what? Positively. And of course, you want to avoid the negative impact. So the impact is on three things. If communication is effective, it must have a good impact on your revenue. Number one, that's what the manager is concerned with, revenue. Second, the impact should be on cost. Revenue should increase, cost should go down. And the third thing is productivity. Your productivity should increase. What do you mean by productivity? Productivity is output per unit of input. I mean, if one laborer is producing 10 units of a product, and if he's producing 20 units, you want the laborer who is producing more using the same input. His productivity is higher. So ultimately, everything should have a positive impact on your productivity. So let's now look at what does quality communication have an impact on, and how that factor has an impact on revenue, cost, and productivity. Please keep that in mind. It's not important, it's a two-step process. Analysis is a two-step process. Your factor that you are analyzing, which is in this case communication, will have an impact on something else like motivation. And that in turn will have an impact on either revenue or cost or productivity. So don't stop by saying communication has a positive impact on motivation. Yeah, it does, but then motivation has a positive impact on revenue, cost, or productivity. That is something that you'll have to write in the answer for your analysis to be complete. So, if communication is effective and if communication is good, then obviously your staff will be more motivated. They will be encouraged to participate. This encouragement is a very important factor. They will they will give their opinions. They will work in teams better. They will contribute better to the business and its success. Also, when people can communicate better, when communication is effective, then what happens? More ideas are generated. And please do keep in mind, uh, the winning ideas, the better ideas lead to better products, they lead to better solutions, they lead to more value addition, and that's what businesses are concerned with. Okay, so these ideas are used for problem solving. Your problems can be resolved if you have good ideas, better ideas, and better communication. And good communication encourages that. It encourages people to contribute, toss in their ideas. Your employee will always shout out his idea. People love recognition, don't they? That isn't that what Herzberg says? What is a motivator? The motivational factors include what? They include achievement and recognition of achievement. So you came up with the idea, and if you are recognized in a crowd, that will be very motivating. But that can only happen if communication is effective. Good communication also means decision making will become faster. Okay, people will receive the message faster. People will react to the message faster. Okay, speed of decision making. I'm not saying here that decision making should be hasty, but it cannot be slow. You have to decide, you have to resolve problems very fast in a changing environment. Sometimes you have to run to be able to keep still. So the speed of communication, the speed of decision making, of problem solving will increase. Now why? Because I'm getting ideas, I'm getting to know what the problem is in the first place. Okay, and then I can respond to those problems accordingly. What about market changes? You will learn faster about what changes are coming in the market. Why? Because your communication is effective. You're communicating with everybody. You can communicating with the lowest level of your staff. You're communicating with your customers. You can communicating within the organization. So the problems are communicated faster to the decision makers, and those decision makers can then make the right products to satisfy customer demands. Just look at this. Just look at this. Uh, these are two of the most advanced gadgets in the world. The the Apple phone and the Samsung phone. Now, obviously, at some point in time, they found out that when customers come to them, they look for the branded product, but they are looking for quality cameras. Everyone wants to take those selfies and those videos and upload those videos and stuff like that. And for that, they want excellent cameras. They want excellent cameras in their phones. So look at this. Previously, there used to be one camera. Now one phone has three cameras, and the other has six cameras. So what is the company doing by putting in six cameras in what is supposed to be a communication equipment? They are responding to customer demand. This is what the customer wants, and that reduces the risk of the risk of taking wrong decisions. Okay, you will take the correct decisions. You will because let's say it's face to face communication, so you get the information from your boss, you clarify the information, you act on it, you tell him the progress, he corrects you, and then in the end the right decisions are taken and the errors are reduced. And please remember that in a business, errors contribute to costs. The more your errors, the more your cost. Okay, so these are some of the very important things that happen in an organization when communication is strong, when communication is fast, when communication is effective, when people are encoding properly, when people are sending the right message, the clear message through the right channel. Okay, and that message is being decoded and understood properly. Okay, so this is a little bit of analysis. This analysis will continue in the next video, and then I will let you know about it, as to how evaluation is done. I mean, in this video, I give you a slight overview of how analysis is done. Now, in the next video, we will do some evaluation in context. Okay. Thank you very much. Please stay tuned for more solutions and more lectures. Thank you.